They actually had a chance to win after being down 21. They couldn't quite close the deal. It would have been maybe the greatest comeback, considering who it was in the atmosphere in Penn State history. They lose by 3.
Yep.
One of the things that happened late, Trace McSorley, with the team on the cusp of being in field goal range, I think they were at the pit 31.
Yep.
He threw deep.
Yep.
Receiver ran a wrong route. The ball was intercepted with a minute to go, and that was the game.
Yep.
You had a chance to ask James Franklin today at his news conference about, or excuse me, I think it was Rich Scarcella, had a chance to ask about why throw the pass, what was the thinking there, and he expounded on it.
He did, yeah. Basically, you saw Penn State come back because of the passing game. They were very aggressive. They took a lot of shots and some plays over the middle, and they thought they could do it again. And to be fair, they had Deshaun Hamilton open on a deep cross. He was wide open. Trace McSorley overthrew him. I think there was probably some sort of error between Mike Gesicki and Irvin Charles. He mentioned that they did hit the double with Mike Gesicki earlier in the game.
Yeah.
They hit him for about 30 yards, so I think that was in play as well. I think it was the right call, and I just think that it wasn't executed, but they were going for it.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for the confidence that Penn State had late in the game. Remember, they had just carved up Pitt on 4th and 16, so I'm sure Moorhead and Trace McSorley were feeling it, and they thought, they had the right play dialed up.
Yep.
Human error comes into play. People want to say, well, play conservative, but I just don't think that that's the way Penn State's going to operate this year. I think they're going to have to score a lot of points. It just didn't go their way. It was a great effort, and I think you're going to see at some point this year them win a game with Trace kind of at the controls. He's that kind of player, so we'll see. A couple other things to note. Penn State played another true freshman in the Pitt game. Cam Brown, a defender. He's kind of a hybrid linebacker D end. I think James Franklin and the defensive staff are trying to get a little bit quicker.
Yep.
And I think this is a guy that maybe can help them. He looks like he might be a little undersized, but James had some things to say about Cam.
Yeah, he can move. There's no question about that. I think we need to read into this exactly how we should have read into the Manny Bowen quotes last week, where it was said that Manny Bowen was going to have to play more of a role. Well, that was because Jason Cabinda was out. So who knows if Cabinda will play this week, but there's no new injury news to report. Of course, he won't talk about it, but I think you're going to see a lot of Cam Brown for one reason or the other, and I think there's definitely probably a health aspect to it, but it's also the quickness as well.
Yeah, and I think moving forward, whenever James talks up a player that hasn't played a lot, I'm gonna personally refer to it as a Franklin foreshadowing, because almost always or invariably there's something up. So I would look for Cam Brown a little bit in the Temple game if they get a chance to play him. You did mention the injury. Grant Haley didn't finish the Penn State game. I think he's dealing with some kind of leg ankle injury. He left early. Kevin Givens took a shot for Manny Bowen. It looked like he was concussed, and they were checking him for that. It was a nasty hit. They don't know about him. Evan Schwan couldn't finish the game. Brandon Bell got a little nicked up, but he was in the game, so I'll be curious to see what the defense looks like against Temple. On Saturday, one other thing, DeAndre Tompkins isn't the biggest guy, but he has a knack, Greg, for kind of making contested catches. He made a nice catch against Kent State for 40-some yards, and he had 3 really nice catches, including the 4th and 16 catch against Pitt. James Franklin said he's actually gained some weight, and that's actually helped him kind of develop as a receiver.
Yeah, DeAndre Tompkins might be the deep threat that Penn State's offense needs. I think he's a guy that definitely needed to grow up when he got to campus. I think he finally has. He's going to be an impact player in this offense.